Okay, folks, I hope I'm audible and visible to all of you. Can you give me a yes or no on that? On the chat box, please, that I'm audible and visible properly. Yes, great. So let's wait for a couple of minutes and then we can get going. It's exactly 7:01 right now. Should we wait for a minute or two so that people may join in? Or can we start? Great. So we have crossed more than 110 participants now. We can get going. Very good evening to all of you and welcome to this League of Chartered Accountants. And I am Chartered Accountant Deepak Mulchandani, welcoming you on the boot camp of Degree to Placements. I am the founder of this particular venture. I have been doing this for last 17 years now and I keep doing it. I don't know why, but I love doing it because I want all the candidates and all the chartered accountants to get placed properly and do not suffer and do not wander here and there the way we used to do it in our days. So I am Chartered Accountant Deepak Mulchandani speaking to you from Indore, Madhya Pradesh. May I welcome all of you and ask you to please introduce yourself and at least mention the place you are logging in from on the chat box, please. Thank you very much. Can you just mention the places where you have logged in from so that we get an idea? Oh, Balmiki from Kolkata, Vinita from Kerala, Aryan from Chandigarh, Sanya from Kolkata, Anamika from Neemuch, Madhya Pradesh, Shivam from Nagpur, Sakshi from Ahmedabad. Great. So right from south, east. Oh, Alagu Sivam from Chennai. So the south and the east and the west gets covered, and I am in the center. And from north I have Aryan from Chandigarh. So yes, we are representing the whole country. Great, great to see that. Okay, Kaf is from Bangalore. Wow. So first of all, congratulations, Jabalpur, Sneha. Great. So congratulations to all of you to become chartered accountants in one of those typical and tough results. You are those 7,931 chartered accountants which got created these exams and given to the economy. So big round of applause to all of you, and congratulations to be making it this way. So proud of you. So after almost a week now, it's been a week since you became a chartered accountant, and when you wake up nowadays, there are no hassles of classes, no deadlines, no IBS nightmares or anything. You are through from them. Great. God bless all of you. Now the agenda for the day which we should have is, I need to give you a walkthrough of what we'll be doing for the next 6 days in this mega preparation boot camp. So it's something about me. If you want to understand who am I and what do I do, this is me, Chartered Accountant Deepak Mulchandani, and before that I have been helping freshers to get job in Big Fours and industries. I have myself worked at Deloitte and PwC, and I was a part of the team of HUL, ITC Hotels, Titan, Suzlon, ABB and Tussauds Group. I was seconded to London, UK by Deloitte for 4.5 months, where I worked on various coveted projects like Tussauds Group. I have been in teaching and training since last 20 years now, and empowering students. I conduct grooming and interview prep sessions along with placement drives, and I was also special invited to the ICAI for accounting standard for local bodies. And I have my app also, Economics for CA Foundation, because I teach economics to foundation students and intermediate students to management to intermediate students. So that's about me. So rather than flexing too much about myself, let me go on what we are meeting here for today. So let me go on to that. And the flow of the session, we will keep it in this way that you and I can continuously interact. So the house will be open for all of you to have your questions being asked. So please feel free while having a conversation. Would you like all of you to unmute yourself? I think you all are allowed to unmute yourself. So if you want, you can. I hope the settings are working that way. Just a sec, let me see. You all can unmute yourself. You all can switch on your videos also. Okay. So that you can do. And I hope the meeting is getting recorded. Yes. Oh, great. Yes. So all of us here. Yeah. So the career launchpad which you are looking for, what are the basic things which would be going in your mind? Confusion, what to do, what not to do. So today's agenda is something like that. CV drafting and interview preparation, interview prep material and D2P resources. How do you use AI for interview preparation? And the bigger discussion which we'll have today mainly would be on domains, guidance, practice versus job, and what are the various domains which are available and option available for you. And then we will have a timeline of mentor sessions, the lineup which we have, so that we can go ahead. क्या आ रहा है दिमाग में आप लोगों के? If you can unmute and speak, that would be great, rather than having a one-sided session. पूरा CA final you have done studies, just looking at the computer on a one-sided communication. If you can unmute yourself and speak to me, that would be great. So what is going on right now in the thought process? Any idea? If you want to speak up, if you want to unmute yourself, yes please. Anybody? Valmiki, Vinita, Aryan, Sanya, Anamika, Shivam, Sakshi, Shivam from Chennai, Kef from Bangalore, Sneha, Krish. Aman, Karthik, Sejal, if you would like to speak something.
हेलो
Yes, you are audible.
सर। इस टाइम पे बहुत ज़्यादा कंफ्यूजन ये रहती है कि स्टार्ट कैसे करें, जॉब में करें, फिर जॉब में भी एक स्पेशलाइज्ड डोमेन में जाएं, या कि
Hmm.
इंडस्ट्री को ज्वाइन कर लें जहाँ पे आपको सब चीज़ें करनी है, फ्रॉम
Hmm.
प्रिपरेशन टू फाइनेंशियल्स टू ऑल अदर टास्क विच आर ट्रेडिशनल सी एफ डू।
Correct. So that's the agenda. That's the first confusion which any chartered accountant which becomes a CA, any person, any CA gets into that situation. Yes, that is the agenda for us to cover today. Yes, Aman, Sejal, Vinita, if you want to speak something. Okay. Some chats coming in. Okay, no problem, Aryan. You can attend from there only. No issues at all. So now I'll be your host and host for the first 45 to 50 minutes, and then you can ask those questions to me and keep asking them. Once when you draft your CV, so what we'll do is we'll divide the session in two parts. The main discussion today will be on a introductory area on CV and interview prep. Introductory, but there needs to be a full 1 hour and 1.5 hour session on CV preparation, which I will take tomorrow. But today I will give you a guidance on domains, that what are the different kind of domains, so that your mindset and your mind process starts working. Ki what are the options which is available to me? Make sense? If you can put those emojis and yes and no's on the screen, I can understand that you all are listening. So first I would take more on domain guidance today, and then yes, interview prep and this CV preparation is not a 1 minute or a 10 minute thing. What I would do is I will give you a cursory view right now ki this is what we will do, but a 1.5 to 2 hour detailed session on CV preparation is needed, right from starting to writing your experience to completing and template and what to include, what not to include. The presentation is already ready with me right now. If I want to show you, I can show you that interview preparation, CV preparation presentation, which is already there with me, but that will become taken up in the next session. For that, I'm just making you have a look on this, so that how to write resumes, what to do, what not to do, everything will be covered in the next session. But today I will take you through this overall domain guidance session which we spoke. Just a sec. Seems to be a technical glitch. I'll just check. Works well. So Few pointers regarding your CV. First of all, the CV happens to be your first impression and you have to make it count. And when your CV gets drafted, you please understand, in case sometimes there is a myth that it has to be compulsorily one page. One page is preferred, but if it goes to 1.5 pages, it's also fine. But we try to fix it between one page. That's first. Secondly, your articleship experience should be properly highlighted. What work you have done, what keywords you will introduce, what domains you have worked, those keywords of the domains. For example, if you are into statutory audit, your Ind AS, Caro, SA, everything should be there. And if you are into taxation, GST, taxation, litigation, compliance, all that work should be there. There should be no jargon fillers. Unnecessary goal nahi ghumane ka. You're not supposed to take people around, because what is the average time or average span of attention? How much time do you think you watch a reel for? Do you watch the reel nowadays for full 30 seconds, 45 seconds, or you scroll up? Give me an answer. Do you watch the full reel or you scroll up? Sir, I scroll up. Correct? So if you can't read or watch a reel which is recorded, edited and then presented to you, how do you expect that one single page to stand out unless you put a lot of effort into it? Understand? And the biggest problem, we take 4 years to become a chartered accountant, and sometimes more than 4 years to become a chartered accountant. But the amount of effort which we do to prepare our CV is very less. अभी everybody thinks कि I have become a chartered accountant, मैं CA बन गया हूँ, मेरे को नौकरी दो, मेरे को काम दो और पैसा दो. It doesn't happen that way. You need to present yourself, and most of the times the fraternity of chartered accountants suffers on this, that we are not able to present ourselves properly, and our CV doesn't speaks of the amount of work which we have done. So that is what I was saying, that this thing and this discussion is not a 5-minute discussion. This is a 1.5 hour discussion which I will take tomorrow. I have showed you the presentation also. That is planned for tomorrow. Right now, just a small thing. Yes, CV is not a 1-minute job. You can't cut, copy, paste. You have to work on it thoroughly and then only present your CV to the world. And yes, there should not be a single CV. There should be multiple CVs of you for different domains. Okay? Give me a yes, no. I want your participation, friends. Otherwise, I am talking to a screen. So you need to give me yes, no, and is it going the right way? So you have to say yo, Y-O, yo. Not yes, yo. So that I realize. Yes. Great. Okay. The moment you go to interview prep, you need to understand your domains. There are 3 aspects. You need to understand your domain, you need to develop your soft skills, you need to research the place you are going for. Okay. So the core concepts of your domain, some technical answers, some real case examples should be there. Again, a part to be discussed in interview prep tomorrow in detail. Why CA? You should know why did you do chartered accountancy. पैसा बहुत अच्छा मिलता है, इज्जत बहुत मिलती है. I can flex my degree. That is not the answer. You need to have a proper 3 to 4 line answer prepared for it. Then you have to be ready for situational questions, the STAR method, that is also we'll take tomorrow. So clarity of thought and not just knowledge. And then what basically, why do you want to join this firm? Why not something else? Will you get something other offers? Is this what you want, or are you just joining it for the sake of joining? And at the end, what do you want to ask us? Do you want to ask some questions? Do you have some questions in your mind? All these things should go through your mind. And you should be ready for all this. Yes or no? Correct. Now the moment says ki, what are the interview prep materials available? Now the biggest problem is the way you have been flooded with all the PDFs around for CA final. Most of the PDFs which you gathered from various friends and all the Telegram channels you never opened. How many of you agree, sir, that I never opened many of them? So you have to write never opened. Never opened. You would have got loads of PDFs in your phone and in your laptop or iPads and they were not opened. At the end, whatever you have prepared on your own, only that helps. Correct. That's the same story everywhere, friends. So what we have done is, what we have tried to do is, we have compiled a question bank and interview prep material, and there is a website of mine called www.degree2placements.com. It has domain wise question answer banks. It has got some CV templates. It has got some session recordings of the past sessions also, and the domain explainers are also there. If you want, I can show you the website right now. Here it is. So the website works this way. What we can help you with: technical interview questions of various fields, interview preparation videos, grooming sessions, learning materials shared on LinkedIn. So example, if you go to technical interview questions of various fields, that's what you get. Statutory audit question, transfer pricing questions, direct tax interview questions, indirect tax, internal audit, investment banking, core finance interview questions, groom yourself to multitasking, and whatnot. All this is available from our side just with you on a single click. For example, if you go to the statutory audit questionnaire, you can simply download this particular file, and this particular file works this way. These are the questions, and then you have answers for this also. I'll show you that also. The answers are also there. So all the questions with suggested answers are available, which you can use. So the basic preparation and everything can be done. So that's one way, and that's the traditional way, or I may say the orthodox way. So that's, sir, what is the modern way? The modern way is you can use AI to help yourself do interview preparation. How many of you have used? The link is there, Sunil, in front of you, www.degree2placements.com. You want me to post it for you? I'll just do it. Here is the link. This you can use. Okay. So now the moment you go, and then you can use your AI. How many of you have used some AI? Definitely, for understanding the topics and everything, you would have definitely used. How many of you are conversant with GPT as well as Claude? Give me a hand raise. GPT plus Claude, like this. Reply. Balmiki is using it. Great. Sanya says yes. Great. So have you used it for simplification of topics or editing for? Okay. So that's one. So you have to ask AI to quiz yourself on domain specific technical questions. AI can do that. I hope you all are accessing Claude and GPT, because they are the most two important tools right now for chartered accountants. And if you go beyond that, Claude has got even deeper presentation capabilities and deeper research capabilities. So Claude can even help you better at times as compared to GPT. But the problem with Claude is, yes, it exhausts your limit, the free limit, and then you have to subscribe to it. In that context, GPT is more flexible. So you have to ask question to quiz you on a domain specific technical questions. Do you want me to show you a demo, a sample prompt? Yeah. So let's do it. Let me log into GPT and try to do this. I want you to act today as an interviewer for me. I am a freshly qualified chartered accountant and I want you to interview me on statutory audit. I am applying for the position of a statutory audit in a big four. Please ask questions step by step on my technical skills, and based on my answers, please mold the next set of questions. Here you go. How many of you have actually tried this? Because it's been only 7 days since you became a chartered accountant. I really think अभी तक तो नहीं किया होगा, but किया है तो. Anshika has tried. Okay. Did it help, Anshika? Yes. Valmiki also tried. Anshika also tried. Great. See the first question. And here's the syllabus. Now this is the modern way of preparation, but what I personally feel is the GPT gives you so much of information. Getting that information ready and immediately recalled in your head is not an easy task. So most of the times what you do is you prepare everything on paper. So the traditional way is going to the website, downloading that PDF, keeping that print and going through it on your ease. The second way is this. Aya? Understood? Can I go ahead or should I do some more prompts for you? Go ahead. Okay. Thanks. So accordingly you can give your CV also, which we will prepare in tomorrow's session. That CV in what sense has to be done, and accordingly we can take this forward. Correct? So this is what AI can do for you and it can help you. Now let's come to the domain guidance, which is the main crux of the session today. So domain guidance, first two categories. Number one, a practice and a job. Once you get into a practice, you have got the options of getting into your own CA firm, doing your own practice and getting into partnership. I think majority of us have done this particular work being in partnership firms and in articleship. Now, as you have seen that most of the compliance work, most of the work which we have been doing for our smaller clients is getting automated on a regular basis and a day-to-day basis. So something like that which we need to understand and take care of, that how we will take this forward. Here more of compliance work is done and more of relationship work is done, as you and I know. But let me tell you, if you want to make a place in your own city, it's a smaller city, you have limitations of the family, you can't travel, you can't move out. And if you are thinking that I will go out for 2 years and then come back and set up my practice, that's one way. Secondly, if it is clear that you will come back to your own city, then better to start practicing then and there itself, because after 2 years you will again start from zero, because the local area understanding is different and the market understanding of the bigger cities is different. So if you are clear that you want to be in your own city, be there right from now. Otherwise, yes, go and get some exposure and then bring that new concept, new technologies and the new understanding to your city and then utilize it there. Correct? Because if you want to be a consultant, if you want to be an advisor, then you have to give those kind of suggestions, those kind of inputs to your clients which are better than what is happening in and around your city. So for that you need a bigger city, bigger company, bigger level exposure. So for practice scenario, is that clear? Any questions on the practice scenario, or can I move ahead?
तो प्रैक्टिस स्टार्ट करने के लिए आपको कोई सीए फर्म ही चूज करनी पड़ेगी पहले, या कोई बिग फोर में या इंडस्ट्री में जाके फिर बाद में आप प्रैक्टिस में आ सकते हैं?
हाँ, दैट इज वन वेरी बिग क्वेश्चन कार्तिक. दैट इज व्हाट आई सेड. अगर आप बिग फोर में या बड़ी फर्म में जाके काम करते हैं एंड देन यू वांट टू कम बैक, what will happen is when you come back to your own city, the only challenge is your city should be bigger enough to have that level of clients also, because when you go to bigger firms, the clients are listed clients, the clients are large corporations, the systems, the softwares, the methodologies which are applied on larger clients cannot be directly applied on smaller clients. The smaller clients will not appreciate those small nuances, those small aspects, but will take care of it. Many of the students do this. Many of the candidates go, they'll spend some time, they'll come out, and then they'll start giving those kind of unique services. Please understand, if you come back to a smaller city, which city are you from, Karthik?
दिल्ली से.
You're from Delhi, correct?
यस सर.
Huh. So Delhi is bigger enough. So Delhi has the client. Delhi, Mumbai, Bangalore, Kolkata, Chennai, these metros will always have that capacity to absorb separate people also who are doing their own independent practice. Many of the chartered accountants, they come back, they come out of these bigger firms, they don't do traditional GST return filing, they don't do traditional work. What skills they develop there, they utilize those skills after coming out. So वहां जाकर वो पॉइंट बनता है कार्तिक, that how, what domain do you choose in a bigger firm, and then what benefit that domain will give you when you start your own work. So that is something which we will now start discussing when we go into the job category. चलूं आगे चलूं?
तो एक क्वेश्चन ये भी आता है कि मेनली क्या है ना, स्टैट्यूटरी ऑडिट हो गया, टैक्सेशन हो गया, ये सब ट्रेडिशनल वो चल रहा है. बट अब न्यू ट्रेंड के हिसाब से जैसे ईएसजी हो गया, इंसॉल्वेंसी हो गया, फॉरेंसिक ऑडिट हो गया, तो इसमें करियर बनाना चाहिए या वो है, क्योंकि अभी तो हम स्विच भी कर सकते हैं न्यू डोमेन में.
Correct. Abhi you are onto the new stage, you can do anything and you can move to any new domain because you are right now raw, a clean slate. So अब आते हैं अपन बात पे जॉब के अंदर. when you go to the bigger firms, they offer you traditional statutory audit, internal audit, other stuff, and as you mentioned a couple of names called ESG, sustainability, and fraud and forensics. Now again the question comes in, Karthik, I can do fraud forensic, I can do ESG and sustainability reporting, but this learning, can I take this learning and do my independent practice and work for all this? The next question is that, because if you aim मेरे को 2-3 साल बाद खुद काम करना है. So do you think a smaller partnership firm in or a smaller shop or a small business in Delhi will be more interested in ESG reporting with you? Will they be more interested in fraud and forensic detection with you? They will be again. So that is what seems to be flashy and nice when you are working in bigger firms. जैसे ही you pull that particular capability and skill set out and keep it yourself independently in the market will start asking, इसका मैं क्या करूँ? Understood? 2 point हैं. You want excitement, because most of the chartered accountants nowadays think that अरे I don't want to do audit, I don't want to do taxation, I don't want to do statutory audit. Why? अरे but chartered accountants are made for that. Correct? अभी everybody who becomes a chartered accountant, it's been 7 days now. अगर मैं आप सबसे पूछूं your preferred domains, सबसे पहला आंसर आता है I want to get into FDD, financial due diligence, transaction advisory, investment banking. Am I correct?
Yes sir.
अभी सबको इधर ही जाना है. अभी सबको इधर ही जाना है, तो सब में क्या क्या होता है, that is what is the conversation today. What every single stream tells you, what every single job profile requires and demands from you. Let's go to that. So when you get into a job, तो आपको पहले ये देखना पड़ेगा कि आप सीख क्या रहे हो, what you are understanding there. Are we okay with if I use a couple of words in Hindi specifically to Shivam from Chennai and one person from Kochi. Is that okay? A couple of words in Hindi is fine, or 100% English is required? Can you just put something in the chat? Some Hindi would work or not? Shivam says yes, some Hindi will work. Okay, great. Sunil V says no, not at all. Zero Hindi? Okay. Sunil, you are from Cochin, if I am not wrong. One person was from Cochin, as I remember. Okay, Bangalore. Okay, no problems. No worries. Okay. So, CA firms, some Hindi will work. Next. Because I belong to Madhya Pradesh and the mother tongue is Hindi. So, when I am into the flow, so at times I may utter a couple of words in Hindi. So, that works. Yes. Recording would be there. The recording is happening. Don't worry, Vasant. Okay. So, in terms of job, you have got 2-3 areas. Number one, you go to work in a big four, number one, or a mid-sized firm, number two, or in smaller firms, number three, depending on to what you are looking for. And once you get into the industry, there is manufacturing, IT, startup, banking, and more. Okay, so now let's get into that detail. When you go into the jobs in a CA firm, you have got big fours, Deloitte, EY, PwC, KPMG. Now tell me one thing. I want to ask this question. Is there any difference between these two entities?
Yes.
What is the difference? Can anybody tell me? Otherwise, I will explain. Because that is one big confusion which keeps on going everywhere.
Yes,
They'll go to
Deloitte USI, PwC, SDS, KPMG, and EY, GDS, they work for the outside India parties.
correct. So they all are offshore accounting units. Correct?
Yes,
And these are India businesses. Correct? So these are India businesses. So now the biggest question is, if you want, and moment you start getting these placement opportunities and forms to apply, most of the time students don't even realize that where are they applying. They only look at the big four name and they start applying. That is the biggest trouble. So what happens is, your CV, you tried, said I will be sending my CV to Deloitte, it lands up in Deloitte USI. I will be sending my CV to PwC, it lands up in PwC SDC. And the global entities do not have a face-to-face client exposure. You will be doing back-end work sitting here. Please be very clear on this and understand this very clearly. You will not be working directly in front of the client or interacting with them. You will get the work assigned from abroad and you will be doing the work sitting in front of a system and attending Zoom calls, attending MS Teams calls. So that one big difference I would like to highlight. Correct? So big fours, yes. And there what you do, sir, start audit, risk advisory, tax, transfer pricing and transaction advisory. Mid-size or let's say large firms, I may say GT, BDO, RSM, SR Butler anyways, EY only. Audit assurance, DT, IDT, internal audit and M&A support. And then in smaller firms, you have these local CA firms doing specific work. Your articleship firm also may give you an offer that if you stay with us, we'll do this for you. Then there are boutique practices. Boutique practices means they are specialists in one or two works only. And they keep doing that kind of work and they become specialists in that. Then boutique practices are about CFO advisory, bookkeeping and accounting, tax return filing, small business audit and compliances. Correct? Now when I go into the stream of Big Four and various options which they have, let's get into that. And before getting into that, let's get into industry also. In industry, what are the various industries and what kind of work which we will get? If you get into any of the manufacturing industry, okay, let me ask, should I take the Big Four aspect first or the industry aspect first? Because I've got both ready with me. So which one, Big Four or industry? आप बता दो. Cap says industry. Oh, Daivat says Big Four. Industry. So the poll is going in favor of industry. Few more people to vote.
What's the pros and cons of working in a big four or a CA firm, big CA firm, or an industry?
तो पहले उसको दोनों को देखना पड़ेगा ना. We need to see both of them, Karthik. That is what I am asking. Okay. So let me just take you through all of them first, and then let's come to that. What is good, what is bad. See, this is the first day today, Karthik. When you are having after 7 days of becoming a chartered accountant, you might would have attended different sessions also. But yes, the first one to give you an understanding कि हो क्या रहा है. Let me understand everything, and then decide. So industry opportunities. Okay. Industry, when you get into manufacturing, any of the manufacturing companies, be it an automobile company, be it a construction company, be it a hotel, or any of the industries. So what will happen if you get into manufacturing? Basically, what we will be requiring to do in manufacturing industry, the maximum work which you can get is in finance and accounts, internal audit, and taxation. Under taxation, you will have again DT, IDT, and if you are a multinational company into manufacturing, then you may be asked to work on transfer pricing. Correct? But mainly finance and accounts, internal audit, and yes, sometimes FP&A. Correct? So all these things will be offered to you when you get into an industry. And if you get into a HUL or a ITC or a Nestle or a Marico, what basically they do is they hire you as a management trainee first. Then they put you to various businesses for almost 7 to 8 months, and then they will assign you into a particular department. So that is how it will work. Correct? Correct? That's one. When you go into an IT industry, an IT and tech industry, so what will happen? Finance profile, compliance, and TP. Because see, in IT and tech industry, you don't have purchase, you don't have sales in terms of inventory. So it's more about percentage completion method and completed service contract method. So the revenue recognition is based on milestones. Which one? Which Ind AS is of revenue? Tell me. Ind AS
115.
115. Yes, there is nothing. What, Karthik?
115.
Didn't understand, Karthik. What you are saying?
115.
115. 115. Correct. So, see, manufacturing has a lot of complications, right? From raw material, inventory, finished good, packing material, GST compliance, input tax credit, multiple aspects come into play. Logistics happen, transportation, cartage. When you get into those details, you realize IT and tech industry doesn't have all that. IT and tech industry has a lot of eased working, more about number crunching, more about funding. So finance, compliance, and TP, and finance and accounts. So that's one. Correct? Now come to startups. What is startups? Startups will ask you to do everything. Okay, right from accounting to CFO, to get your books audit ready, to go to the departments, to get all the permissions done, even getting the BRS done, speaking to bankers. So if you really want that, I have my family business, I want to scale it up, so better is to go and get a place in startups. But again, startups don't take you easily. Startups require those kind of people who have got sharp brains, faster understanding, capabilities, understanding of various tech tools. If all that is there, yes. But a plain simple vanilla traditional sole proprietorship firm जहाँ पर सिर्फ इनकम टैक्स जीएसटी रिटर्न भरा है, वो भी सिर्फ पार्टनरशिप फर्म का और सोल प्रोप्राइटर फर्म का, आपको जाने का सपना है स्टार्टअप में, लेकिन यू नीड टू हैव एडिशनल स्किल सेट्स. So there multiple activities will be done. So you'll be wearing multiple hats in startups. Ideally there is no job description. Everything and anything may you be required to work on to. Everything and anything. Correct? And when you get into banks or NBFCs, so banks and NBFCs have got credit division, treasury division, audit division, as well as banks have also got operations. So private as well as PSU banks, they have one very big rumor keeps coming everywhere. I don't want to get into sales. ऐसा सुना कि नहीं सुना, और आप लोगों ने बोला ना मैं रिलेशनशिप मैनेजर का काम नहीं करूंगा. I will not do the work of opening bank accounts and selling banking products and selling loans. How many of you have heard this? Give me a hand raise. Has anybody heard this? Because who is the biggest recruiter? Which bank comes to ICI campus as the largest recruitment? Tell me. Which bank comes in as the largest recruiter for ICI campus? All of you know the name. And what most of you don't want is, I don't want the sales profile. Yes or no? But let me tell you that they don't put you into sales. You are a chartered accountant, they put you into some better work. But if you want to work in a job and in an industry, in banking and financial services, it's a great employer. But what happens is you all develop your opinions based on some friend's advice or some hearsay. So banking and financial services industry is something which is going to grow leaps and bounds in the coming days. Anyways, we are into that. Then when you go into an edtech company or any of the startups, if you want, there again finance, accounts, compliance, not beyond that. Correct? If you want to get into equity research, the positions is you can work as an analyst, you can work into valuations, you can work in reporting. So it is not as simple as that कि मुझे equity research में जाने का है. I want to get into equity research. Boss, what do you want to do into equity research? There are multiple categories and multiple layers. You want to be an analyst, you want to be a valuer, you want to be a reporting person. Correct? Then if you want to go into healthcare, hospitals, insurance companies, so healthcare business, again there will be finance and accounts department, costing department and MIS. This becomes very important in companies because there is a specific set of informations which people want to take decisions. So most of the times you will get these crazy requests. What to do, how to do, what not to do. That's how. Correct? Is this conversation going in the right track which you wanted? Say yes or no. Because day one you need to understand all this first and then you need to get into the details and then your further set of questions will start developing. Correct? Okay. Now mutual fund houses, if you get into mutual fund houses, what mutual fund houses, do you think you will become the asset management company head or the chief investment officer or the mutual fund head on day one? No. What will you be doing is you will be doing compliance or you will be doing some fund accounting. Correct? This is what the work you will be doing. Did I miss any of the industries? I think I tried to cover all of them. Hospitality, healthcare, yes. because in manufacturing mainly everything gets covered. Do you think any industry I've missed you want me to? No, that's not an industry. That's a consulting area. That's coming on to the next one, Daivat. In Big Fours, the IB and PE, private equity, IB, that I am bringing up. Hmm. Correct. So now let's go to the CA domains. Now CA domains, the moment we get in, we realize statutory audit. What statutory audit you will do? You will do statutory audit as per compliance. How many of you have honestly done a proper statutory audit in terms of setting up the materiality limits, doing some practical testing, and then bringing out the reports? Because in smaller firms, in smaller cities, what happens is we just pull up the report and then finally change the name and the place and the date and the figures and the balance sheets are done. In smaller offices, that is what happens. But a proper statutory audit is something which is quite an elaborate exercise to give an assurance to the stakeholders that the books of accounts are giving a true and fair view. How many of you have done listed clients? Put the word listed in your chat if you want. How many of you have done listed clients? Daivat has done. Great. Aryan has done. Valmiki has done. Oh, Giridhar Lakshmi also has done. Karthik has done. Siddhi has done. So listed client may, when you do these LODRs, the periodic reviews, the quarterly reviews, the management analysis, the analytical procedures, the assurance which you give them on every single point of CARO, the way you set your materiality limits, the way you see the control systems, the IFC testing and the work, all that kind of work gets into play when you do something called statutory audit. So whenever you are writing your CV, and if you have done a listed client, as most of you have mentioned, it should be highlighted that you have got a listed client exposure. And यहाँ पर सवाल आता है, people who want investment banking, people who want private equity, people who want FDD, financial due diligence, transaction advisory, the first requirement of the firms is the person should have a listed client exposure, and that is the starting point of a conversation when they look at the CV. Listed client exposure किया है, great. अब the next question comes in, listed client में क्या किया है? Were you just doing vouching? Were you a person who started the audit and then concluded and compiled it together? So that's where you bring out that your skills which you have, that I have done this much, I will be able to showcase this much. Okay, so statutory audit, this is meant for what? This is what chartered accountants are meant for, if you ask me. Audit is something which is done by people like you and me, but most of the times nowadays I hear मेरे को सब करवा लो, I don't want to do audit. Your choice, but yes, the biggest recruitment happens in statutory audit. The largest craze is in statutory audit, and the salary is also good in statutory audit. Now, as I was having a conversation with Karthik initially, so what Karthik said ना, मेरे को बाद में खुद करने का है. So you can't be individually doing a listed client on your own. So the skill set which you will develop on statutory audit there will not be usable in individual office of your own. Karthik, can you understand it now?
Yes, sir.
Ha. Next is internal audit. Now this is also another one of those things everybody says मैं नहीं करूँगा, I won't do. Why you won't do? Because what you think is, अरे it is not the thing, it is very boring. But all those people who want to develop their own business or want to get into business or something better after few years, internal audit is the only place where you can go and actually study the business. What is happening, how it is happening, how it is getting recorded, how it is getting posted, how it is getting presented. All those things in internal audit will give you the understanding of business. Yes, second biggest recruiter. It requires good amount of travel and it develops a lot of business understanding. I am just trying to give you a basic flavor so that you come to know that what field does what. Okay. Direct tax. When you get into direct tax, there are two aspects in direct tax which you do. One is litigation and the other is compliance. Correct? Under direct tax, litigation and compliance. Now, can you give me the difference between litigation and compliance? Use your chat box.
Litigation.
Use your chat box or write something, because I think Karthik is only using the mic, others are only typing. I don't know why. You all also can speak and unmute yourself. I would love to hear your voices. So it will make things faster for us.
In compliance, we have to check all the sections and other things which the company is not complying with. And in litigation, we go to the tribunals, appeals to get the matter resolved.
Hmm. And what about litigation?
In litigation, what I tell that we have to go to the appellate tribunals, appeals
Hmm.
to get the matter in the favor of the client.
Correct. So appeals, revisions, drafting, presentations. Okay. Vasant, it will get hosted. Don't worry. We'll share all the details with you. Direct tax, litigation and compliance. I'll tell you what, if there is a compliance requirement, so if you are making multiple payments, so then TDS things comes into action. So the compliance is related to monthly compliance of TDS, monthly compliance of various tax deposits. All those things get into compliance category. And litigation. इसमें whenever you are applying, you have to ask this question to the employer whether I will be a part of the litigation team or the compliance team. For example, if you want to get into litigation, then you will be going to places like Bansi Mehta, Dhruva Advisors, those bigger firms which are fighting on behalf of large clients. See, the only point I'll tell you is in DT practices, day one nobody will give you a case. You just give me one simple answer. Will you go and show yourself if you are falling ill or not keeping well? Will you go to a new doctor who has completed his MBBS few days back, or to an experienced one? Give me simple answer. Which doctor you will go to? The new doctor or the MBBS which is experienced one? Exactly. So the same thing you have to apply to yourself. Do you think you will get a big case study or a big case on day one of your office? The answer is no. You have to be there, you have to mature yourself, you have to give yourself time, and then only you will become a direct tax lawyer. Secondly, direct tax law practice is person specific and city specific, because you don't see individual businesses coming for income tax cases and speaking to Big Four. They will go to individual lawyers who have understanding of their businesses and understanding of the overall taxation system. So please be very clear that if you go for direct tax, you have to understand. Okay, how many of you have prepared income tax return of companies, not partnership firms, not sole proprietorship firms? How many of you are there? Say I have. Anamika has done, Anshika has done, Balmiki has done, Sakshi has done. Great. So once you do that, that is what Big Fours look for. Please understand. See, I am marking corporate tax. Okay. Returns of individuals on sole proprietors doesn't work. Okay. Tax planning, IT assessments and appeals. So company law taxation, and please be ready, if you want to appear in DT interviews, you should be very clear on one thing. You should be having good amount of knowledge of company computation, not individual computation, because that doesn't add value. वो लोग कंपनियों के income tax return भरते, they help filing returns of bigger companies in Big Fours. Similarly, when you go into GST, again you will have a couple of categories: litigation and compliance. because when you are into litigation, again it will be specific law related matter. If you go into compliance, yes, every time 10th of the month and 20th of the month you have to be there, because what has happened is all the large corporates have outsourced their taxation compliance to Big Fours. So if tomorrow Airtel wants to file its GST return, now imagine when Airtel is filing their GST return, they would have done millions and crores of recharges in that particular month. So they have to compile everything, and then based on that they have to file. So compliance will be more of desk and back end work. Litigation, people will be very less, but yes, they will have a situation that litigation. So two types of job. Again, if you apply, ask whether I will be in litigation, whether I will be in compliance. Correct? Let's come to transfer pricing. Sir, in transfer pricing, what will happen? Transfer pricing applies to whom? Domestic companies or multinationals? Tell me.
It applies to both, depends on the transaction values.
But mainly it applies on multinational companies where the cross-border transactions are there.
Yeah. But in case of a SDT,
Yes.
where 20 crore specified domestic transaction,
Again, those are exceptions. Matlab, those are specific transactions. But larger application of transfer pricing is on what?
MNCs.
MNCs. Yes. So transfer pricing, you have got this OECD guidelines and section 92 B, C, D, E, F. But now that section 92 will go for a change. The new Income Tax Act is on. Yes,
Yes, sir.
Daivat. Very good question. Big Fours have a separate DT and TP departments? Yes. Totally different. Because serving a MNC is a different aspect altogether. So TP departments are different in Big Fours. Okay. So intercompany pricing, benchmarking, TP reports. All these things will be based on OECD guidelines, Organization of Economic Cooperation and Development. These are OECD guidelines which are available globally. Based on that and the income tax law prevalent in India, reporting is done on a regular basis. So transfer pricing में now again, like Karthik had a question, मैं अपना काम करूँ. So if you get into a transfer pricing job, then you come out of that particular company, you can't get a transfer pricing job on your own because it's a bigger setup, a bigger mechanism. So individual cannot offer transfer pricing services. Karthik, I hope I am able to address your concerns. I think because it was not your concern of everybody.
Yes,
कि
sir.
I individually, if I work, how it will happen. Okay. Then we go to finance and accounts. The moment you go into finance and accounts at any point of time in any industry, you will be doing FP&A, MIS, Ind AS reporting, controller roles, different kind of stuff. So this is pure accounting which we will be doing. And if you love doing accounting, if you want to be a part of the finance and accounts teams, multiple industries are more than happy to take you. Correct? Now let's come to the last two one जो सबसे ज़्यादा famous हैं अभी, सबसे ज़्यादा in thing, which are like trending topics. I want to get into mergers and acquisition. Thankfully, by the time your result came in, the war has come to an end. But do you think economy is working well or it's on a slow mode right now? Indian economy or the global economy? Is it working fast or on a slow mode? Tell me.
So
Sir, it's slow mode. So mergers and acquisitions are happening at a faster speed or a slow speed?
it depends.
What kind of industry, what kind of things are happening? Correct?
Yeah.
Correct? So mergers and acquisitions are purely driven by the business sentiment. That is what I wanted to tell you. And under that, you are into M&A team or M&A tax team. These are two different aspects, sir. Please remember, M&A is a bigger thing, and under M&A you have a M&A tax also. So M&A will take care of the overall aspect that before mergers and acquisition, the purchase consideration has to be done, the due diligence has to be done. So you will be a part of the team which is going to do due diligence. Do you think you will get 1 year to do a due diligence or a short span of time? You have to do it faster, a short span. You will require a lot of effort in terms of giving the return and the turnaround, because this is what is to be done. So here the pressure is more The working hours are long. It is not that 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock you log in and 6 o'clock you come out and then you have a weekend off. M&A में नहीं हो पाता है, हाँ ध्यान रखना. हाँ जब when there is no work it's fine, but then things keep on working. So valuations, due diligence, deal structuring, all these things. And under that they have a taxation department, so they will be looking only for taxation aspect. Correct? So the taxation aspect is looked by one team, but the overall bigger team is M&A. Now who takes? Achha, on similar lines there is another department called FDD. Now you call it transaction advisory or you call deal advisory, whatever name you want to give. So here what you do is you work into deals. You will be either on the buy side of the deal or the sell side of the deal. So that depends upon you where your employer is on from. So if you are from the buy side of the deal, so you will try to find out all the faults and bring the purchase consideration to the lowest level. Correct? And if you are on the sell side of the deal, so you will try to increase the overall purchase consideration so that you get more and more valuations. Again, a high pressure job. Primary requirement is listed client exposure. Without that it will not work. Correct? And did I miss anyone? I think a couple of names, that ESG reporting and sustainability reporting, fraud and forensics. Again, very niche kind of works. Again, these kind of workings do not come to individuals directly unless you have a great name for yourself, or otherwise these things, if skills are developed, then you have to be into these fields continuously to become employable. There are separate firms who work in fraud and forensics. You can be employed there, but individual practice for fraud and forensics, individual practice for sustainability and ESG reporting, no, because the dynamism keeps on changing and the clients are bigger companies. Correct? Clear हुआ? हाँ. So I hope I have been able to give some idea to you. Yes or no? So this is like the surface level discussion which we have had for the first day, if I let me tell you that. So has this made you think better and understand things better and deeper today? Give me a yes or no first of all. Now the answer should not be how to decide right now. What we will require to do is, now you need to understand one by one, detailed understanding with various people. So I have lined up a set of sessions for all of you. So Akanksha Deshmukh on 27th June, that is day after tomorrow, will have a session with you, and she is working in statutory audit in EY India. 28th June you will have a session with CA Rashi Pahuja. She is working in ITC into the finance and accounts division, and she is a senior chartered accountant having a 8-year experience right now in ITC. Then you have CA Fatima Kanchwala on 29th. She is into international taxation and transaction services, where she will come and tell you that what exactly happens, how this field works. And on 30th you have CA Aman Jain, who is working in Wipro Finance, and he will tell you how Wipro works and how the finance works and how will be a day-to-day life for any person joining these kind of organizations. I have personally understood one thing, that despite of people like us giving all the gyan, the real thing is once you interact with people who are actually working on those fields. And that's why I have curated these sessions, and more speakers will get added up. Do you think such kind of sessions help you, or you would not be more interested in participating in all this? So we have kept these sessions tomorrow evening, usually at the 7 o'clock time, so that we all can be free from our day-to-day office work, and these people also pull out time from their active office and then come and sit on these sessions. What I want from all of you is, you need to bring any of your other friends who have cleared CA to attend these sessions, because these sessions will be like You can ask freely the questions. They will tell you how things work. So the first hand raw and real understanding of working will be available to you. Correct? So this is the end of the first session from my side, but the start of the journey from your side. Correct? Any questions which you have right now? Please feel free to ask. Aman, Sejal, Vinita, anything? Okay, I hope you all are connected to us on the WhatsApp group which we have opened up for May 26 participants. Are you all connected on that or not? Give me a yes or no.
No, sir.
So then how did you come to know? So that is something which I
LinkedIn.
LinkedIn. Okay. So what I would say is there is a WhatsApp group as well as a Telegram group. Just a minute, I'll show that to you. This is the Telegram group. You can join this right now. That will help.
So there's one question in my mind whether to enroll for the campus placement or go by your own.
No, no, no. You should go where both the places, sir. It is not that ki sirf only one place will help you. You can be everywhere, sir.
So no,
Don't
we
try to
don't
get
know
into a
what the.
situation that yes, I don't want to. Okay, please access this CA placements. This QR code is visible to all of you right now.
Hello, sir. I had a question.
Yes,
Most
Trevor.
of my seniors were telling me that uh, if before the campus I give interviews to Big Four or such firms, they asked us to join earlier so that we won't be able to give campus. So, is it true, and should we not opt to give interviews before campus, or what is the system?
See, there are 2 points into it. You are correct. If they will take your interview before campus, they will ask you to join before campus. Why? Because if you think from their side, if they are investing time, effort, and money to interview you, not to give you a letter where you can go shopping. A. By the time you go to ICI campus and come back, if the seats are filled up, then you miss out on the time. Agar if you have a clear idea that I want to work in a Big Four, so then why wait for ICI campus? And I think as far as I remember from the last 3 to 4 attempts, Big Fours are not coming to ICI campus only. Have you gone through the data?
No, sir, not yet.
So let me tell you, Big Fours don't visit ICI campus nowadays. They do all the recruitment off campus. A. B. The campus dates are quite late. For example, that is on 3rd August they are starting, if I am not wrong. Am I correct?
Yes.
Yes.
So 3rd August from June end to the whole July month you are there. So they won't be expecting you to join after that because आपका मेरा मन क्या होगा? Every candidate wants is I should give 10 interviews, finally listen to them, put all the offer letters on the table and then decide which one to choose. That is what we want as a candidate. Look from the side of the HR. HR says if I have taken an interview, give me a yes or no and join. If not, I'll go to the other person. Because उसको तो resource चाहिए. They want a resource. Correct? So you
Yes,
have
sir.
to get a clarity, Devat, that if you want to get into a Big Four and if you are getting an opportunity, better join. Why? Because if you don't join, somebody else will join, and if the place is full, then you are gone.
Yes,
So,
sir. Okay.
and campus is not a kind of IIM kind of a campus which we have. Okay. So, in campus, the overall conversion ratio is 20 to 30% only. You would have seen this data circulating in social media that not all the offers get converted. Have you seen through that data?
Yes, sir. That's why I was asking. So, if I get an opportunity right now, I will give an interview and accept an offer, right?
Accept an offer and join. By the time the campus gets over and you get an offer, तुम्हारा first salary आ जाएगा तब तक तो.
Yes, sir. Right, sir. Thank you.
Anshika has a question. Anshika says a lot of seniors told me that going into banks restricts your career and limits your opportunity in future. Anshika, that is totally wrong. If you want to get into banking and financial services, please understand till the end of humanity money will be there. Okay? You will be into BFSI industry. You can't get into manufacturing. You can't practice on your own. ये correct है. But BFSI industry itself is very big, Anshika. So if you want to get in, you can get in there. So don't carry this. And at the end, please remember, all of us can join only one job. That Sakshi we will also discuss tomorrow. If your experience is not very good in articleship, because most of us come from small offices, so then how to work on that and improvise on that? That definitely, yes, we will discuss tomorrow. That is a session. Now what I want you is, I want you to bring maximum of your friends and put right now as honest feedback on LinkedIn about the session or here on the chat, which I can take up. Will you be okay putting up a 2-liner or 3-liner right now over here on the chat? In the meanwhile, I'll just try to share the WhatsApp link also, WhatsApp group link also. Just wait. Okay, Aryan has a question. Sir, usually IB, PE, VC firms do not hire CS, so what should be the path if you want to get into the same? You need to be first of all into the FDDs division, the financial due diligence and the transaction advisory division, and then start getting into that particular league. And if you don't have a listed client exposure, the start is get the listed client exposure, get into these departments first and then move there. Directly nobody will take you, boss. Because they don't actually, उनको personally किसी से कोई problem नहीं है. The requirement of the job is very high. They want you to be on toes. They want you to be hands-on with various things, which is expected. Okay. So, thank you very much from all of you. Tomorrow we will have another session on CV drafting, and a detailed discussion will happen that how to draft your CV, what to keep in mind and what not to keep in mind. Okay. Thank you to all of you for being patient listeners, and I really appreciate and hope to see you and your friends tomorrow. Okay, Sunil said God answers on many doubts and have a feeling that something grabbed from you. Thank you. So it serves the purpose. And let me tell you, the overall activities and all the sessions will be all free of cost. We will not be charging you any money. Okay. People have started paying up for getting these interview preps done, but we understand that this should not be the case. All these candidates all these speakers also will be coming on a pro bono basis. We'll be doing it for just for the awareness of all the kids. Okay. Thank you very much. God bless all of you. Sleep well. No more exams.